Namaste everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a super useful and important topic for any Java developer working with Spring Boot Actuator. Have you ever wondered how to effectively monitor and manage your running Spring Boot applications in production? Well, Actuator is your answer. It provides production-ready features to help you monitor and interact with your application without needing to restart it. By the end of this tutorial, you will understand what Spring Boot Actuator is, how to enable it, explore its powerful endpoints, and even customize it for your needs. We will cover everything step by step, making sure it is easy to understand for beginners. So, grab your favorite beverage and let us get started on this exciting journey to master Spring Boot Actuator. Alright, let us start with the very first step, enabling Actuator in your Spring Boot project. Actuator is not automatically included when you create a new Spring Boot application. You need to explicitly add it as a dependency in your project's build file. For Maven projects, this means adding the Spring Boot Starter Actuator dependency to your pom.xml file. This starter pulls in all the necessary actuator libraries. Once you add this dependency and rebuild your project, Spring Boot automatically configures many actuator features for you. It is that simple. Think of it like adding a special toolbox to your application that contains all the monitoring and management instruments. Without this dependency, your application is running, but you do not have those special tools. So, remember, the first rule of Actuator is to add the starter dependency. Now that Actuator is enabled, how do we actually use it? Spring Boot Actuator exposes operational information about your running application through a set of endpoints. Think of these endpoints as special URLs that you can hit with a web browser or a tool like curl to get specific data. For example, the Actuator Health endpoint provides basic application health information, telling you if your application is up and running. The Actuator Info endpoint can display arbitrary application information, like version details or build information. Another useful one is Actuator Beans, which shows a complete list of all the Spring Beans in your application context. By default, only the health endpoint is exposed over HTTP. To see other endpoints, you will need a little configuration, which we will cover next. These endpoints are your windows into the internal state of your application. Let us move on to a practical example of how to customize and configure these actuator endpoints. As I mentioned, by default, only health is exposed over the web. To expose more endpoints, you need to configure your application.properties or application.yml file. For instance, to expose all available endpoints, you can add management.endpoints.web.exposure.include is equal to asterisk to your application.properties. Please be very careful with this in production environments due to security implications. A better approach is to explicitly list the endpoints you want to expose. For example, management.endpoints.web.exposure.include is equal to health, info, beans. We can also add custom information to the actuator info endpoint by adding properties like info.app.name is equal to myAwesomeApp, and info.app.version is equal to 1.0.0 to our application.properties. This allows you to tailor the information Actuator provides exactly to your needs, giving you more control over what is visible. While Spring Boot Actuator is incredibly powerful, there are a few common mistakes beginners often make and some best practices we should always follow. A very common mistake is exposing all actuator endpoints in a production environment without proper security measures. This can expose sensitive application details to unauthorized users, which is a big security risk. Another pitfall is not understanding the data provided by the endpoints, leading to misinterpretations of your application's health or performance. To avoid these, the best practice is to always expose only the minimum necessary endpoints in production, for example, just health and info. Always secure your actuator endpoints, perhaps by integrating with Spring Security or placing them behind a corporate firewall. Also, make sure to understand what each endpoint provides so you can effectively use the information for monitoring and troubleshooting. Security first, always. And there we have it. We have covered a lot about Spring Boot Actuator in just a few minutes. To recap, Spring Boot Actuator is a powerful module that provides production-ready features to monitor and manage your Spring Boot applications. We learned how to enable it by adding the Spring Boot Starter Actuator dependency. We explored key endpoints like Actuator Health, Actuator Info, and Actuator Beans, which give us insights into our application's state. We also saw how to customize which endpoints are exposed and how to add custom information through application.properties. Finally, we discussed crucial best practices, emphasizing security and selective exposure of endpoints. Actuator is an essential tool in your Spring Boot toolkit, helping you keep your applications running smoothly. I hope this tutorial has been helpful and cleared up any confusion about Spring Boot Actuator. Keep practicing, keep coding, and keep exploring. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting Java and Spring Boot content. Your support means a lot. Until next time, happy coding!